Okay, so when I shot this video, it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I was half asleep, and I didn't bother trying to speak on it because it would have been completely inarticulate. So I'm re-recording this one now. This is my Balfouri Communal. I had dropped in 2 roaches this night before I went to bed. The first one you can see is over on the left, was a little bit large. Now I pre-killed them, but they were still kind of twitching. And after I dropped it in, I was afraid they wouldn't approach the larger one. So I then took a smaller one, killed it, ripped it apart a little bit more, dropped it in there, and that's when they're kind of mostly gravitating around. Again, I know this is kind of gross, but I want these guys to eat, and this is the best way to do it. I do find it absolutely adorable that that sling to the left is over there kind of poking, biting at it, and then running away. Now, mind you, that roach is dead. The head was crushed, its body was ripped. It's the reactions after it. But he's over there giving it his best shot. But I wanted to show this one because this is the majority of them. I believe at one point all 8 of them are out there. The 9th is in premolt behind. You can see where that one is on the top middle. It's behind there. So they're almost all out there feeding together. Now, a couple of the observations I've made is that I was afraid there'd be more fighting over the food, but it looks like if you drop in enough, what they do is they come up, they kind of take a chunk of the flesh, they move away, and they eat on their own. There's not any fighting. The most I saw that could have been construed as possible friction was when 2 went at a small roach at the same time, but all they did was rip the roach in half. One took one half, one took the other, and they ate. There was no fighting. There was no scrambling for it. They ate very peaceably. And this is pretty much what I've observed through several feedings now. This is the first time I was able to catch the majority of them out eating at the same time, which I think is very, very cool. Usually there's 5 or 6 of them out at a time, and then later on the other ones will come out. But this has been pretty much how it goes with these guys. I drop something in, I come back at night, and they're all sitting around it eating. No fighting, no arguing, nothing contentious, just true communal behavior. So again, finding this whole situation very, very cool, because I've been hardwired to look at tarantulas as highly cannibalistic. Generally don't want them anywhere near each other. Even when they breed, there's a good chance that the female will eat the male. So to see these little hungry growing slings eating together and not trying to eat each other is just incredibly cool. Now, we'll see how this behavior continues as they get older. I will say, looking now, I dropped these 2 roaches in. By the next morning, I think there was a leg that I found. So they're doing a nice job ripping these things down. Right now, they're about 3/4 of an inch to an inch long. So it'll be interesting once they start getting larger to see how much prey I have to drop in there for them to hunt and not hopefully turn on each other. But again, it's been working out great. I love the fact that the little 2 up at the top that were kind of scared off by the light are starting to creep their way back down. I did, after I stopped recording, because I was kind of standing here for a bit, and again, I was like a zombie, half asleep, I watched for a little while longer, and again, all 8 of them were out eating at one time. The 9th was in back, tucked away. You can see one of those little abdomens in the back over there. That one comes back and joins, but there's another one in the back that's looks to be heavy premolt. So again, these guys have been eating like machines. I have raised Balfouris from slings before, and I will say that the slings were not particularly great eaters. They would eat one day, not another. If I fed them live prey, I had to feed them stuff that was much smaller than them, or they'd be scared by it. And I haven't seen any of that behavior with these guys. They've been pretty much just eating, growing, and doing great, growing much more quickly than my other ones. So I'm going to attribute that, or I'd like to attribute that to the communal setup. We'll see how it goes as time moves on, but so far it's been quite interesting to observe.